Howdy folks, and welcome back to the Luminary Shoppe. I'm Rick, and today I get to start a brand new project and a new series of videos. Well, I actually started this project last fall, almost 8 months ago. These owners have been really patient with me, and I really appreciate them for that. I understand these lamps have been in the family for several generations, and they have considerable sentimental value. Now, these lamps have been worked over significantly in the past, and they've been extensively modified, wired with 110 volts, and used as porch lamps. Now, as we get into this restoration, we're going to see why carriage lamps are not good candidates for this application where they're exposed to the weather. Now I'm going to restore these lamps as closely as I can to their original condition and function. I always like to retain as much of the original lamps as I can, so deciding what to save and what to replace is going to be a major factor in this restoration. I've broken the lamps down so that I can deal with each component individually. First, I'll take these heads apart. We'll remove the lead statues and salvage them, and then see how many of these 5 different spinnings on each head I'll have to replace or repair. A stack of spinnings like this should have a steel cone to support the entire structure. We'll see what's left here. The supporting cone should be one continuous piece, all the way from the bottom to the very top of this stack of spinnings. Obviously the weather will have also taken a toll. I think we're going to find out that this is a recurring theme in these lamps. I'll have to be careful that I don't melt the lead base of this statue as I work on cleaning the solder that was just gobbed on here to hold the statue in place. solder is just piled on sort of haphazardly on top and inside this compound spinning to hold that statue on. I guess it worked, but it sure looks like a mess. There's a 1/4-inch bolt threaded into a brass mounting plate on the bottom of each of these statues. I'll clean up these mounting plates and rebuild the bases of the statues so these ladies can stand up tall again. At some point in the history of these lamps, someone tried to get these two spinnings apart. I suppose to get at that bolt to take the statue off the top. At any rate, it sort of ruins things. I'm going to try to straighten it out and spin it back down. We'll see what happens. Well, not only did I not get it spun down, I managed to ruin the bottom spinning too. Not a good day.
Hey Grandpa, is there anything I can do for you in the shop?
Well, you could sweep the floor.
Yeah!
Well, that seemed to brighten things up. So, onward and upward. I'll make a drawing with the pertinent measurements to assist me when I go to rebuild these tails. Well, that one sure seems to be stuck. I think I'll set it aside and come back to it later. Generally, you can take these long tapers apart, starting at the small end and working your way up. I'll try a different tactic here. That inner cone that I was talking about before should go all the way through this long tapered piece of the tail, clear from the spinnings at the top of the tail to the cap at the bottom. Obviously these don't. It's completely rusted away. I'll save these copper sleeves to use as patterns when I make the new tails for these lamps. Again, there's no supporting core in the spinnings at the top of this tail. That's probably why it crushed in on itself. I saved the excess solder that is spilled out of these old lamps when I take them apart. Then I melt it back down into small chubs that I use for setting the mounting brackets in new lamps when I build them. I'll clean up all these parts. I still have to decide which ones I'm going to salvage and which ones I'll have to replace with new spinnings and such. Well, we've got a pretty good start on this restoration. Next time I'll get into tearing the bodies down and trying to preserve as much as I can of the liners, which is going to be a bit of a project. And I'll make some new flanges or frames to go around the glass, which will be quite a project in itself. So as always, thanks for watching.